Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to these 5 things that you might have missed regarding WWE Crown Jewel. Now, there are some things that you absolutely could not have missed, like how Shane McMahon won the WWE World Cup, a tournament that he wasn't even in, and also Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, a man that we all thought was done with WWE, would just come back for this one payday, is now, once again, the Universal Champion. Obviously, Hulk Hogan came back at the start of the show as well. And actually, it was quite interesting that there was a fair few Hulkamania shirts in the crowd. That might be something you noticed or didn't notice. But yeah, they must have been selling Hulkamania shirts at the merchandise stands in Saudi Arabia. But that doesn't make my 5 points. So let's get to the actual list. Number 1 on the list is that Triple H suffered a pretty big injury during his match. News has come out after Crown Jewel that Triple H has actually torn one of his pectoral muscles. Now, this can take around 5-6 months, maybe even longer, to recover from. That means that Triple H is definitely out of Royal Rumble and likely out of WrestleMania as well. This is big news. Obviously, we don't know the extent of the injury. The rumours are he's going to go back to America first and get it assessed. But it certainly doesn't look good, and he definitely suffered a big injury during his match. Whilst we're on that match, we might as well get to point number 2, and that is that Shawn Michaels had NXT logos on his ring attire. They were quite obvious at times. They were just around the back of his belt. Shawn Michaels actually did a couple of funny little things. When he was in the ring just about to start his match, he took his hat off, and normally he would push his hair back, and when he takes his hat off, he goes to do it and then goes, and remembers, I'm not sure if it was a comedy bit or not, but remember, oh yeah, that's right, I'm bald now. He looked brilliant. He looked like he hadn't missed a step. And also, I felt that way about Kurt Angle as well. I thought Kurt Angle had a fantastic match also. Number 3 on the list. There were no LED screens on the ring. So normally you have them on the ring posts, but there was no LED screens there. I don't believe there was any on the ring apron as well. That's the kind of furniture, ring furniture, that we would see at Raw and at SmackDown Live. Maybe it's a case that they are currently on their way to Manchester to get set up ready for Raw and SmackDown on Monday and Tuesday. But I just thought it was a bit weird, you know. This had a big stage, big ramp. It had pillars, it had screens, it had more pyro than I think I've seen since the last Saudi Arabia show, the Greatest Royal Rumble. Yet there was no LEDs on the ring, or ring posts in particular. And it looks a little weird now. It stood out at Evolution. It stood out there that these were missing. And for me, it stood out again tonight. I kind of miss not having them now. Number 4 on the list is the Renee Young welcome to Saudi Arabia sign. This was such a cool moment. It happened towards the end of the main event. I'm not sure if it was shown throughout the show. I only spotted it at the very end. And it was someone in the crowd that had a drawing, I believe it was, of Renee Young. And the text said, Renee Young, welcome to Saudi Arabia. And whilst we're talking about Renee Young, she was on the commentary team. She was at ringside all night. She was wearing very respectable dress. It was like a turtleneck, polo neck kind of top. And it was all black. And it even went down, covered her arms, and even kind of went around her thumb. So she really was covered. Couldn't see what she was wearing. I don't know if it was like, you know, just normal black trousers. She appeared every time we saw her to be completely in black. Very respectful. Nothing on her head, though. You could still see her hair. Obviously, there was a Saudi Arabian commentary team, so the Saudi Arabian audience wouldn't have heard Renee Young, but I'm pretty sure they would have seen her. So it's just interesting that she was at ringside. Number 5 on the list, though, and that is the ring attires. There was, to my recollection, no green in the ring attires. Now, you might remember that Rey Mysterio at the Greatest Royal Rumble wore basically the Saudi Arabian flag. He was all in green. I'm sure he even had the logos off the flag, the symbols off the flag on his ring attire. I was expecting something similar this time around, but Rey Mysterio just came out in like a black and yellow ring attire. AJ Styles came out in black. Sometimes Samoa Joe also wears green in his attire, but his attire was red and black. It seemed like they had gone out of their way to ensure they weren't wearing green. I think quite a few superstars were maybe performing when they didn't really want to be performing there. Because, as we said, we definitely saw them make more of an effort at the Greatest Royal Rumble earlier in the year. Rey Mysterio in particular. So those were just 5 things that I noticed that some of you might have missed. I would love to know if you guys noticed anything that I might have missed down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about the show as well in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, see you again next time. Bye for now.